What's up, YouTube? Today I got some A-Class racing for you in the Can-Am Maverick RS Turbo R. I don't know why they got two R's in there. It's kind of a long name. But anyways, we got the stock engine. Obviously, we got all-wheel drive. This thing has got 327 horsepower, 217 foot-pounds of torque. So it could be a little rough off the line. Weighing in at 1,651 pounds. And this tune is by me, so if you want it, you can just go ahead and search my gamer tag in the tune section. Alright, getting into it. We got race number 1, point to point, up into third on the beginning of the race. Feeling like this thing is going to be a handful since it's so small and it's got a lot of power. I feel like it's going to be bouncing all over the place. Trailcat up on its side, gonna pass him, see ya. Up behind the Ford F-150 Raptor, very common truck in this type of race. Surprisingly enough, the Bronco in first place. Alright, so maxing out already. Hitting the rev limiter at around 130. And passing the Bronco up into first. Hopefully there is no straights on these races, because that is not good for a vehicle that maxes out at 130. Passed by the Ford Raptor and the Bronco. Passing me like I'm standing still. Not good. And here we are on a long straight, as I just mentioned. No good for this thing. And the Ford Bronco messed up into second place. This thing bouncing all over the place. And it does not like those stone walls or those fences. Alright, so through some front and backyards. Jumping across the highway, hitting 17 safety barriers. I don't think those are too safe, considering they just folded away like paper. And I'm just going to drive straight into a tree. I mean, it could be worse. I could drive right off the track. At least I'm still able to recover. And just wandering off somewhere, not sure where I'm going. This thing might be a little better if I knew how to drive. Avoiding the stone walls. And crossing the line in second place. Losing out to the basic bitch Ford F-150 Raptor. Alright, so on to the next event here. We got a free roam rush.
200 yards, turn right.
Starting in 8. Now this thing is definitely slow off the line until you get into that turbo and you're gone. Alright, so only 13% into the race, and I've already hit about 25 stone walls and maybe a small child or two.
Recalculating route.
Free roam rush are most likely not this vehicle's strong suit, as there are super long straightaways through the fields like this, and there are a bajillion stone walls and fences. So going down, holding my breath as I go through all these trees, luckily not managing to hit one. And avoiding this farm. and going into their crops instead. I guess this is a bush farm. They grow bushes or something. I don't know, I'm not really... I'd have to ask Farmer Dan what they're growing. He might know. Here we are, 60% in 6th place, hoping to make up some positions, but it's looking like an uphill battle here. Through the trees, this thing is definitely good at avoiding trees because it's so small. Running over about 2 or 7 goats, or sheep goats. Into the train yard, up into 3rd place, getting everything possible in my path before finishing in 3rd. Alright, so here we are on the 3rd event. We have a tight little circuit here, 3 laps. I have a feeling this car will do good on here since we have the acceleration and we have the handling. So starting off in 10th. Around the first corner, able to take a couple positions. Now in 5th. Behind the basic bitch Raptor, and looks like the escort teammate didn't quite take the jump just right. He was sideways behind the jump. That's alright. Here we go, up into 1st. Let's see if we can hold it. Let's see if the acceleration will keep us here. Flying through this little train station, seemingly pulling away. Look at that suspension, just gliding over the train tracks. This thing is actually not as much of a handful as I expected. Its turning is relatively predictable, and it doesn't go crazy when the front wheel lifts. So nothing really eventful happening in that last lap as we cross the line in 1st place in the Can-Am Maverick. I'm kind of pumped that I was able to take 1st in this vehicle because I've never seen it being used ever, and I have a feeling I won't ever see it being used again. So here we are in another tournament. Point to point in 2nd place. Now this thing just rockets up to top speed, which is quite helpful around the shorter tracks. Look at that suspension, that's insane. So again, forgetting how to drive, just going straight into the wall. Not a very good line through that corner. And the Subaru comes in to try and take 1st place, and the basic bitch Raptor is right on his tail, pushing me wide. Now I was kind of nervous taking this vehicle because it's so small. It must be tempting for bigger trucks to just push this thing and bully this thing to get by. But luckily, we've had some pretty decent racers here. So here we are trying to compete with the Subaru. Able to keep up with him. I was figuring he might pull away as we reach a higher speed, but we've got some corners up ahead to slow us back down. Able to sneak up the inside into 1st. This thing has pretty good handling. It understeers a little bit, but overall it's pretty good. I see these things driving up and down my street a lot. So thinking about the fact that this thing is going 130 miles an hour is insane to me. I mean, you're basically going like 130 miles an hour in a lifted go-kart. So here we are maxing out at just over 130. The Subaru is able to get by. Trying to use the terrain to this thing's advantage. Not gonna work. Trying to be a little dirty track cutter there. Did not work out in my favor. And over the train tracks, this thing's suspension is super cool to watch. As we finish in second place, that's okay as long as I finish ahead of the basic bitch Raptor. So here we are, another circuit with a lot of tight corners. This thing should do well. And if it doesn't, then I'm probably just trash. Again, this thing just accelerating like a rocket once you get up into second gear. First corner up into fourth place. Guy missing a checkpoint there. Two other teammates in front of me. Gonna try to get past them anyways. In the Bentley and a Mustang. Probably two cars that I would not have picked for this track. Unless they have rally tires, then they might be alright. Looks like Ford Raptor on my tail. Sliding through this last corner with ease. Up past the Mustang into first place. Now let's see if I can hold it through the long straight, considering this thing maxes out at 130. I'm expecting the Raptor to fly by me on this part. Teammate coming up next to me in the Mustang, but I'm able to hold first place. Hoping that I can pull away through these corners here. Sliding easily around those corners. There we are, nothing else taking place on that final lap. And we're able to bring home another first place finish in the Can-Am Maverick. Man, is it ever satisfying to win a race in these types of vehicles. These crazy vehicles that everyone just thinks sucks, so they don't use. And to be honest, they kind of do suck compared to a lot of the more try-hard vehicles. But they're super fun, and it's super satisfying to win with them. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe and leave me a comment with what you think about the video. Have you ever used the Can-Am Maverick in a race? What was your experience? Did you win? Did you lose? And if you have any recommendations for future videos, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'm out. Peace.